Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. Today I am with the explanation for the Unit 2 Part C, Brave Potter. This is a very comedy lesson, very jovial lesson, a very humorous lesson. Just enjoy. Yeah, this lesson is in simple language. All you need to do is just give a single reading at a time. Don't give gap. At a time, if you give the reading, definitely you will understand. Come, let's get started. The name of this lesson is The Brave Potter. Potter means a person who makes pot is called a potter. Okay, so this is a folk tale. Folk tale in the sense, in the villages, people tell some stories. Those are called as folk tales. Okay, which are often amusing. Amusing means entertaining, and sometimes instructive means sometimes they give moral values. Here it's actually very entertaining story. Yeah, just read it, understand it, and enjoy the story. Okay, so here starts the story. It was dark. Thick black clouds covered the evening sky. The thunder roared and the strong wind shook the branches and leaves of the trees in the forest. Pit pat pit, drops of rain fell. Then the lightning flashed and split the black sky with its blinding light. Soon it was raining heavily. So this you can imagine a very dark day, that is it's going to rain. When it's going to rain, you see there dark clouds are there. The entire place is covered with darkness. Okay, so it started raining. Pit pat pit is the sound of the raindrops. It started raining and there was lightning also. Okay, and then what happened? An old tiger ran through the rain looking for shelter. So this was a forest. In the forest there was a tiger, and the tiger is unable to take the shivering rainwater. Generally rainwater is very cold, isn't it? So this tiger is trying to protect itself from the rainwater. So it is searching for some place where it can hide. Hide means protect itself for a while from the rainwater. He was wet and cold, and his cave was far away. His house was far away. Okay, and then while hurrying to his shelter, he saw an old hut. So on the way, he saw an old hut. With a sigh of relief, he was a little bit relieved. Ammaya, there is a hut. I can take some rest, he thought. The tiger crawled under the thatched roof. Thatched roof means the roof is made of dried leaves. Generally in the villages, if you see, the roof is made of dried grass, dried hay or dried leaves. That's called the thatched roof. And lay down by the door. So this tiger went near the door and it sat beside the door. Except for the sound of the rain, all was quiet. Everything was silent. Only the rain sound was coming. Before he could nod off means sleep off. As it was very silent, he was feeling very sleepy. Before he could sleep, however, he heard something heavy being dragged inside the hut. Before he could sleep, he heard something. And what is that something? Is something very heavy being dragged. Someone is pulling something. Very heavy thing they are pulling inside the hut. This is what he heard. This was followed by the voice of a woman. After dragging that, there was a woman's voice. What is that woman telling? Oh, how terrible this leak is, she complained. How terrible. She is telling how terrible, how horrible this leak is. I would rather meet a tiger in the forest than have this leak in my house. So this lady actually is telling about the leak in the roof. When it's raining, there is a hole in the roof. So water is leaking inside her hut. So she is telling, what is this leak? Instead of living with this leak, I better live with the forest. Better live with a tiger in the forest, she was telling. Okay, and this tiger heard this dialogue, and what this tiger thought is, a leak? The tiger thought, what is a leak? It must be a very dangerous and strong. It must be dangerous and strong, or the woman would not be more frightened of the leak than of me. Am I not rightly called the king of the forest? Aren't they all afraid of me? I wonder what a leek looks like. So this woman said that a tiger is better than the leek. So what this tiger thought is, oh, the leek must be a big monster. That is why this lady is telling that she can live with the tiger rather than live with the leek. So he was imagining that the leek is a big monster. And then what happened? Soon afterwards, the tiger fell asleep. He was tired. Soon afterwards, the tired tiger fell asleep. The tired tiger was very tired, wandering in the forest in the rain. So he fell asleep. He was suddenly awakened by an angry voice shouting in his ear. So all of a sudden, an angry voice came and shouted in his ear. Somebody came and shouted at him. He felt heavy blows. Someone was beating him. Blows means beating. He felt heavy blows fall upon his head and shoulders. Someone started beating him. You horrible beast! A voice screamed angrily. How dare you run away? How dare you make me walk about in the middle of the night trying to find you? Be careful. One of these days I will kill you. Now go home. Now that voice started telling, hey animal, how dare you run away from the house? The voice started screaming and shouting at him, scolding him and beating him also. The old tiger shivered. The old tiger shivered. This must be the leek who has come out of the hut. I would better do as he says or he will kill me. Actually, this old tiger need not fear at all. He is the king of the forest. He is very strong. But he had this fear of the leek. Yeah, that woman had told that the leek is, that the tiger is better than the leek. So this thing was in the tiger's mind. So what he thought, oh, this is the leek. That is why he is coming and beating me. So he allowed that voice or that person to beat him and to scold him. So the tiger allowed himself to be bound around the neck with a thick rope. The mysterious creature then climbed onto the tiger's back and pulled at the rope. So he allowed that person to tie him with the rope. Now you can see the picture. The tiger is tied with a rope in his neck. Okay, now head for home, shouted the voice. The tiger felt a sharp kick on his side. What did that person do? He started kicking him, he started hitting him, whatever he wanted, he was doing with the tiger. The tiger was terrified and he ran through the dark forest. Now the tiger was scared. He thought that he was a leek. The creature pulled hard on the rope to tell him which way to go. At the same time, it scolded, cursed and kicked the poor tiger. Soon they stopped in front of a small hut on the edge of the thick forest. So this creature started riding on the tiger, or this person started riding on the tiger, and at last the creature stopped him in front of a small hut. The creature climbed down from the tiger's back and bound him with an iron chain to a nearby tree. That creature tied him to a tree. Then he went inside the hut. The tiger could not free himself from the chain, so he had to spend a miserable night under the tree. Whole night the tiger was under the tree only. In the rainy day, on the rainy night, he was under the tree only. Who was this creature who was able to capture such a large and dangerous tiger? Let's find out. Who may be this creature? Okay, the tiger thought that it is a leek, but actually who is that creature? Let's go to the flashback. Okay. On the afternoon of that day, so this is the flashback of that creature. On the afternoon of that day, a potter had arrived home after a hard day's work. There was a potter. Potter means a person who makes pots. He came home after a full day work. Very tired he came. He was tired and thirsty. He had asked his wife for some palm wine. He had some wine. The more he drank, the better he felt. The more he drank, he felt very energetic and very strong. When he had drunk all the wine, he no longer felt tired. He was full of energy. Okay. When the storm began, storm in the sense this rain and storm, thunderstorm. When the storm began, the potter suddenly remembered that he had left his donkey tied under a tree. All of a sudden he remembered, oh no, my donkey is under the tree, he thought. He rushed out of his house to take the animal into the stable. So he wanted to tie the donkey under the tree, from the tree to the stable. Stable means the hut, where the shed for the donkey, to protect it from the rain. Okay, so he wanted to bring it from the tree to the stable. Stable means shed. You can imagine his anger when he discovered that the donkey was not there anymore. So when he went there to bring the donkey wasn't there. The only thing left was its chain. Only the chain was there. The donkey had escaped. My stupid donkey must have run off into the forest, he grumbled. When I catch him, I'll give him a good beating. So he got very angry on the donkey and he said, once I get the donkey, I will hit him like anything, he thought. Okay, and then what he did? The potter walked through the wet forest. When it became dark, he often stumbled. Stumbled means fell down. Stumbled over roots and fallen branches. So he went in search of his donkey into the forest. And as it was wet, he was slipping and falling, slipping and falling. With each step, the potter felt angrier and angrier with his donkey. So each time he fell down, he got even more angry on the donkey. When I catch him, I will tie him up under the tree all night, he muttered to himself. So he said, I will give a big punishment to that donkey. Once I catch him, I will tie him under the tree only. I won't take him into the shed, he thought. Hours later, the potter reached the old woman's hut. Which old woman's hut? Yes, exactly. The hut where the tiger was sleeping. Okay. There he saw an animal. Which animal? Yes, the tiger. There he saw an animal sleeping in front of the door. There he is, he shouted. There he is, the stupid animal. He thought the tiger is a donkey. Okay. The drunken potter did not notice the difference between the donkey and a tiger. He kicked and beat the sleeping tiger. He thought that the tiger was a donkey and he started kicking it. He then jumped onto the frightened animal's back, rode it home and then tied it up with the iron chain. Actually, the tiger could have hit him back, but the tiger was afraid that there was a leak. So the tiger allowed him to beat him. Okay, and then what happened? Next morning, now this is the flashback. Now till now we understood how the tiger came to the potter's house. Okay, the potter tied the tiger under the tree. Okay, where he had tied the donkey, in the same place he tied the tiger, thinking that it is his donkey. What happened next morning? Next morning, the villagers who passed the potter's house looked in amazement. Everyone was surprised at the tiger tied to the tree. Soon the news spread throughout the village that the potter had caught a tiger and tied it to a tree in his yard. So the whole village came to know that the potter had brought a tiger from the forest and he has tied it under the tree. All the villagers praised his courage. Everyone was like, Potter, Zindabad, Potter has done a great job. Like that, everyone started praising him. They also thanked him because the tiger had eaten many of their goats and buffaloes. Even the villagers started thanking the potter. Hey, Potter, thank you so much. This tiger had eaten many of our animals, our cattle, domestic animals. Thank you for catching the tiger, they said. They had tried to catch him for many years but had failed. Of course, the potter said that he had done nothing of the sort. Now look, the potter did not know. How could he catch a tiger? He was like, no, I never caught a tiger, he was saying. He said that he had only brought his donkey home. He said, I brought only my donkey home. I didn't bring any tiger, he said. He did not understand how a donkey could change into a tiger. Now he himself was surprised. What is this, man? I brought my donkey and everyone is saying that I brought a tiger. What is this? Then he went to check whether it's a donkey or a tiger. He wanted to check. When he saw the tiger, he fainted. When he went and saw, is it a donkey or a tiger? He went and saw, it was a tiger. As soon as it saw a tiger, he fainted and fell unconscious. Okay. Nobody, however, believed the Potter's story. Potter was trying to tell that he brought a donkey only, but everybody was like, no, you brought a tiger, brave Potter, like that. They all were praising him. Okay, the villagers even praised him for being modest. Modest means very simple. Though he brought a tiger, he is not accepting. He is telling that he just brought a donkey. How simple he is, they were telling. Soon the Potter became very famous. Everybody who met him called him the brave Potter. Now he got a title. What is the title? Brave Potter. Now this is the title of our story. Now I think you could understand how the Potter became brave Potter. The simple Potter himself never understood why he himself doesn't know why that title was given to him. Okay. And this was the story of the brave potter. Now let's go ahead with the next part of the story. Okay. A few years later, a war broke out between the potter's country and the much stronger neighbor. Okay, so after a few years, after some years, there was a war. War means a big fight between the potter's kingdom and the neighboring kingdom. Okay, after a few years, there was a war that broke out between the potter's kingdom and the strong neighbor. Okay, the king immediately gathered a large army, but he realized that it was not strong enough to save his country from defeat. He needed a hero to lead his army. He wanted a hero who can lead his army. Where could he find such a brave man? The king hurriedly called his ministers together and asked their advice. One of his ministers remembered the story of the brave potter. Your Majesty, the minister said, I know someone who can lead our army. Now look, the potter's kingdom was in danger. A strong army came to attack him. So the king wanted someone to defend his army. So one of the ministers said that he knew the story of the brave potter who captured the tiger. Okay, and then Your Majesty, the minister said, I know someone who can lead our army. The king immediately sent a messenger to the potter's house. When the potter realized that he had been made general of the army, he became frightened. Immediately, the king gave him the title. What title? General of the army. He gave him the post in the army. He is a commander of the army now. Okay, actually he is an ordinary potter. Because of this title, which title? Brave potter title, he got the post, general of the army. The potter got very scared. The king had ordered him to go to the palace next day. Okay, the king called him. How could he, a poor ignorant potter, become the general of the army? He had never carried a sword, nor had he ever ridden a horse. This potter never used any weapons, any swords, nor has he ever ridden a horse. Now he is a general of the army, and general of the army should ride a horse. What to do? He doesn't understand now. Oh, I shall die because of that stupid donkey. Now he is cursing the donkey. That stupid donkey ran away. Because of that, I got that brave potter title. Because of that brave potter title, now I am in trouble. Now I have to ride the horse. He was thinking. He groaned. And the potter told his wife, he has only brought us trouble. The donkey has brought us trouble, he says. The next day, he went with his wife to the capital. The king was pleased to see him and ordered the potter to lead the army into the battle the next day. Now the king is ordering, can he tell anything? No. Now he became the general. The enemies were not far from the gates of the city. A splendid house had been prepared for the potter and his wife. Splendid means very luxurious house. Full, all facilities are there. Okay. A house was provided for the potter and his wife. The horse which would carry him into the battle was ready in the stable. There was a horse ready for the general, the new general. Who is the new general? Yes, the potter is the new general. That night the potter could not sleep. He was nervous and worried because he did not know how to ride a horse. What was the biggest problem? He doesn't know how to ride a horse. If I fall off, everybody will laugh at me, he thought. I will get up very early tomorrow and practice riding the horse. So he is telling, if I go on the horse in front of all the soldiers and if I fall down because I don't know to ride the horse, everybody will laugh at me. So what will I do? I will get up early in the morning, have a practice. Then I will go with them in the war, he thought. At dawn, the potter woke up his wife and they went to the stable. They saw the beautiful brown horse ready for its new master. Oh, how tall he is, sighed the potter. I shall never be able to climb onto his back. When the potter saw the horse, he saw that the horse was very tall and he thought, I can never climb this horse. This is so tall. How am I going to do? He was wondering. Put this bench beside him, said his wife. So his wife gave him an idea. Put the bench, climb on the bench, and from the bench you climb on the horse. Use it as a step, she said. Even with the help of the bench, the potter had much difficulty climbing onto the horseback. Though he used the bench, it was very difficult for him to climb on the horseback. When he was finally seated, somehow he managed to sit on the horse. he found that the saddle was very slippery. Saddle means on the horse there is a leather you can say a bedsheet sort of thing, like a leather rexin sort of thing is there, on which the rider sits. Okay, that was slipping this side and that side. Please tie my feet to the stirrups, dear wife. So he said, oh dear wife, if I slip and fall again, it will be a very shameful thing. So what you do, you tie my feet to the stirrups. You just tie my whole feet to the horse, so that I will be on the horse. I won't fall down from the horse, said the potter. Otherwise I shall certainly fall off. His wife found some rope and bound her husband's feet tightly. So his wife was a very obedient wife. She immediately went, brought a rope and tied his feet. Okay. She then passed the rope underneath the horse and tied the two stirrups together. Again she passed one more round onto the horse. Again the stirrup. Fully she made a full grip for the horse and the potter. She also passed a length of rope around the potter's waist and tied him to the saddle. So she made such a tight knot that the potter got fixed to the horse. Now full body is fixed, only the hand is not fixed to the horse. So what the potter said, now tie my hands to his neck. Meanwhile, the big brown horse was impatiently pawing his hoofs. Hoofs means the feet of the horse is called hoofs. You need the nail-like thing will be there in the horse feet. That's called the hoofs. The brown horse was impatiently pawing his hoofs on the ground. So this potter is telling, now you tied my whole body. Now tie my hand also to the neck, so that for others it will be like I am riding the horse, but I am actually tied to the horse, he said. The wife also accepted. Yeah, at this moment the horse was very eager to run away from there. Impatiently means it was not ready to stand there. It was very eager to run. When the potter's wife tried to pass another rope around its neck, the horse suddenly jumped free. Oh. Now before she could make the final knot, the horse ran free. It went off. It ran from there. It galloped. Galloped means run very fast. It galloped out of the stable with the potter hanging like a sack of rice on its back. Now the potter was sitting just like that. The horse started running very speed. And then only the ropes kept him from crashing to the ground. The potter held tightly to the horse's neck and prayed to all the gods to save his life. After galloping through the quiet streets, the horse crashed through the city gates and raced across the open fields. It leapt over fences and streams and began to head for the enemy's camp. Where did this horse run towards? It is running exactly towards the enemy camp. It is not going here or there. It's going exactly to the enemy's camp. When the potter realized where they were going, he tried harder than ever to stop the horse. He is trying to stop the horse. He pulled wildly on the reins, but it was no use. The horse galloped on. When they passed a young tree, the potter grabbed a branch. Now the potter got very scared. The horse is going towards the enemy camp. He doesn't know how to fight. If he goes there, he will be dead. So what the potter did is, when they passed a young tree, the potter grabbed a branch. But the horse did not stop. Now the horse was running towards the enemy camp. He doesn't know how to fight. So he was very scared. So what he did is, he tried to catch a tree. Hold a tree and stop the horse. But did the horse stop? But the horse did not stop. Instead, the tree was pulled out of the ground. Instead of that, what happened? The tree came out from the ground. Okay, it uprooted. Okay, a sentry from the enemy camp saw the potter galloping towards the camp with a tree in one hand and his reins in the other. You can see that in the picture here. You can see the potter with reins in one hand. Reins means the controlling rope for the horse. That is the reins. Okay, the reins in one hand, the tree in one hand. Okay, this is what the sentry from the enemy camp saw. And then what did he do? saw the potter galloping towards a camp with a tree in one hand and his reins in the other. That must be the general who captured a tiger with his bare hands, he thought. Now he thought this must be the brave potter who captured the tiger without any weapons. He must be the one, he thought. Now he has uprooted a tree with only one hand. He is not an ordinary man. He is a giant. Run, run, save yourselves. Okay, so he went and announced in the entire enemy camp, the brave potter is coming. Today he is coming with a mighty strength. He is holding a tree in one hand and he is coming. Run away, he said. The famous Tiger General. Now he got a new title. What is that? Tiger General. The famous Tiger General is coming at the head of a large army to attack us. He has the strength of a giant. He has uprooted a tree with one hand. He said, the giant, mighty, brave potter, Tiger General is coming. Come on, run away. Otherwise, he will kill us. He said to all his friends, okay, to the entire enemy camp. He announced it, okay. And then the frightened soldiers fled. Fled means ran away. All the soldiers ran away. The king was left by himself in his tent. Only the king was left. Hurriedly he wrote a letter begging for peace and apologizing for attacking the country. What the king did is he wrote a letter asking apologies. That is saying, sorry king, sorry for attacking your country. He wrote a letter. He left this letter in the tent. Then he jumped on his horse and followed his soldiers. The king also ran away. The enemy king also ran away. When the potter's brown horse reached the deserted camp, it stopped. So this king also ran away. All the enemy soldiers also ran away. At this moment, the horse on which the potter was riding, the horse came and put a sudden break in the enemy's camp. Okay. With shaking hands, the potter untied his feet and fell to the ground. With that sudden break, with that jerk, the potter came from the horse and fell on the ground. When he looked around, he was surprised to find the camp empty. When he saw all around, he thought there would be enemies all around, there would be soldiers, but no one was there. He looked in the king's tent and found the letter. The puzzled potter walked back to the city with the letter in his pocket. He went and searched inside each and every tent, and he saw a letter in the king's tent. What the potter did is he took the letter, put in his pocket and came to his house. He went to his wife and gave her the letter. He gave the letter to his wife and he said, "Dear wife, never in my life will I ever ride a horse again. Please take this letter to our king and tell him that the enemy has run away. I am going to bed." So he gave that letter to his wife. He went home and told his wife, "What a terrible horse ride I have. Never in my life will I ever ride a horse. Go and give this letter to the king," he said. And then when the king read the letter, he was full of praise for his new general. When the king read the letter, he was praising the potter. That is, the new general means the potter. He asked the potter's wife where her husband was. He asked where the potter is. And then she said, "My husband is tired, your majesty. The servants have put him to bed," answered the wife respectfully. Now the new general, that is a brave potter, has servants to put him to bed, to put him to sleep. So she said, "He is very tired, he is sleeping, your majesty." She said, "Let him rest today. Tell him to come tomorrow to receive his reward," the king said. The king said, "Yes, of course, he must be tired. He went and defeated the people." All these people thought that he fought with those people and he chased them away. But actually what happened? They got scared and they ran away. Okay. So he said, "Yeah, naturally he must be tired today. Ask him to come tomorrow and get the reward," the king said. Next morning, the potter went to the king's palace. He left the brown horse in the stable and walked to the palace with his wife. So next day, as the king had told, he went to the palace by walk. He didn't go on the horse. Generally, when generals go, they go on the elephant or on the horse. All the people praise them. Like that it happens. But he was going by walk. Why actually was he going by walk? He cannot ride a horse. One horse ride only is sufficient for his entire lifetime. So he was going by walk. The streets were filled with cheering crowds. All the people were Zindabad, Potter, Zindabad, brave Potter, Zindabad, like that. Everyone was cheering. They had all heard about his brave action. First, they heard about how he captured the tiger. Now, second, he has done another great thing for the country. He defeated the strong neighbor enemy. So they were all very happy. They were all praising him. Look how humble he is, they said to each other, looking at him walking on the road. They said, look how simple he is. Any other man would ride to the palace on a horse, but he is walking like an ordinary man. He is truly a humble and brave man. Everybody is telling, see how simple he is, how modest, how down to earth he is walking. But actually, what's the story? He doesn't know to ride a horse. The king rewarded the potter so well that he did not need to work again. After that, he never went to work. Whatever the king had rewarded, he enjoyed the reward. The country was peaceful for the rest of his life, and the potter never rode a horse again. That was the first and last time ever he rode a horse, and the entire life he had a very happy life. So this is about the lucky brave potter, who had such a wonderful, such a coincidence of luck, okay, and he had a very happy life. Okay, hope you enjoyed this lesson. You enjoyed the imagining what would have happened there in the story. Okay, these folk tales generally are there to kindle our imagination, to broaden our imagination. Hope you enjoyed this lesson. Share with your friends, they too would enjoy. You will get creative writings from this lesson also. I have prepared the notice of the potter, king rewarding the potter. For that he is giving a notice to the people. That one I have prepared, and a conversation between the potter and the king also is one of the creative writings that was given in the previous year, one of the previous year question papers. And then another one is message of the potter. Okay, so all these three creative writings I have prepared. Just click the playlist on go to our channel homepage, click the playlist and go to 10th class unit 2 and just refer it before you go for your exams. Hope this session was useful to you. Subscribe our channel for further updates. Click the like button if this was useful to you and share with your friends. Thank you and have a great day.